Hey, this is Cash. Thank you for listening to Middle-Aged Mediocre. Just want to let you guys know, if you just want to skip right to the story this week, you can go to about the 27-minute mark. Or you can stick around and listen to us talk about my dreams and some Christmas memories. Up to you. Thanks for listening. Hey, this is Middle-Aged Mediocre. I'm Cash.
I'm Santa Claus.
You're not Santa Claus. He's busy getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm Joel.
You're Joel.
Yeah.
Santa's up there on the North Pole getting all the toys built by his elves. I don't know if he pays them or not.
You're not very good at improv. I was really hoping we could go with that a little bit.
Well, you know.
You're just right away. You are not Santa Claus.
We had Mothman on our podcast, and one Reddit user didn't believe us. So I don't think we're going to get by Santa. People need to know that we are here for truth.
We're the truth seekers.
We're the truth tellers.
Well, it's always Christmas, so I was just trying to have some fun. I'm glad you put it into that.
Let's try again. Hey, welcome to Middle-Aged Mediocre. I'm Cash, and
I'm Santa Claus.
Santa Claus!
Get off my lawn, kid!
I don't know how I didn't notice you there before. What'd you bring me?
Crippling depression.
I already have that.
Oh shit! Now I got it in blue.
Can you bring something else?
Here's a second piano.
Can I sit on your lap?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
Santa, I don't know if you're Santa Claus. You don't even have a Santa suit on.
No, but look at my glasses.
Okay, they are white. Yep. So that's snow. So can I pet your reindeer?
I'm undercover. You sure can.
Undercover Santa. It's like an old, exploitation film.
Yeah, or it's like a CBS show where Santa goes undercover to the workshop. He's like, "Oh, I'm new here. Teach me how to." The elves are like, "Yeah, fuck Santa Claus. That motherfucker gets us working on it." He's like, "I think he's a good guy."
I'm sure SNL or something has done an Undercover Boss parody with Santa.
They need to.
Yeah.
Edit all of this out. Let's write it and fucking shoot it.
Well, speaking of writing,
but they obviously know it's Santa Claus because it's fucking Santa.
Yeah.
He's like, we love working for you. I mean, for Santa Claus.
Speaking of writing and shooting things, I had a dream the other night. I know everybody loves to hear about other people's dreams.
Sure.
But this one involves you.
Okay.
So I thought you'd be interested.
Why didn't you tell me just when you woke up?
Saving it for the podcast. Yeah, saving it for
the joke was we were laying together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Like I spent the night.
Yeah.
You shook me awake and be like, Joel.
I was trying to keep our relationship a little better.
All right.
We can't, if we're professionals and we're dating, it's gonna look weird. People might think things.
Sure.
Like that we play favorites with each other.
You mean playing favorites? Yep.
So, anyways,
all right.
I had this dream where we were going to Vegas. Buddy road trip.
Nice.
Or we're driving to Vegas. But then, and this is, just.
Did we hit backcountry?
No, we didn't hit backcountry, but we hit backcountry.
Oh.
Because in classic you fashion, and oddly enough, on the highway, there was a sign for a yard sale off one of the exits. Because you know how those get posted on the highway.
I just start yelling.
Yeah.
Oh, yard sale, pull over.
So we're like not even out of West Virginia yet.
Yeah.
And you're already, yard sale. We got to go check it out. So I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. So we go, and we're like driving. And we don't find a yard sale, and we do find, though, like ourselves in this abandoned town. And we're like video vlogging this thing.
Okay.
We're going to put it on YouTube.
Sure.
Like, this is the Middle-Aged Mediocre Vegas trip, baby.
Hey.
So then we're in this, like, abandoned town, so we're still kind of like vlogging stuff. And
I'm like, where's this yard sale?
Yeah, I don't see anything for sale. I guess we can just take things. So we're like walking through these houses, and then, like, so we're, exploring these abandoned houses. And then, like, we explore a few. There's really not a whole lot going on there. Just some old shit. Like, looks, like, abandoned for years now.
Yeah.
And then, like, we kind of walk back out to the center of this town. And there's just, like, one house, like, above all the others. It's, like, the biggest house. It's, like, kind of up on a hill.
The Hill House?
The Hill House.
Oh,
it has eyes, too.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, its light comes on. like the main light of the house comes on, and then all of the other houses lights come on in the other houses. And then have you ever seen those like creepy old Halloween photos of like, you know, old like people's like costumes back?
Yeah.
And they're really fucked.
Yeah.
So like all of a sudden we hear kind of something behind us, and when we turn around there's just like dozens and dozens of people wearing all these creepy costumes. And then that's when the dream ended.
Oh.
But I was like, if I can find an abandoned town for us, which is not as easy as I thought.
Belbury,
maybe. Like that would be a fun found footage horror movie. But again, I've been researching abandoned towns. You would think they would be.
I wouldn't think.
I would think. Well, like you would think, like, you know, backwoods West Virginia.
Yeah,
Would be like spots.
that's true.
But everything is just either.
There's like 3 or 4 people still
there's
living.
built like factories there.
Yeah.
Or coal mining. But
we just got to build our own town. I have one question.
Okay.
Was I fat in your dream?
You were you.
Next time, can you just like dream me just a little bit slimmer? Like maybe back when I was running like 3 years ago.
I'll try.
Okay, yeah. I want that to be my dream version. If you're going to dream about me, I should have some say in it.
You should have some say.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can try.
Give me an afro, too. Like a Jew fro.
Oh, you had an afro. Well, no, you can't say that.
I can't say that?
I don't think so.
A hair of a Jewish person?
That you can say.
Okay.
But I don't think you can say the other thing.
Can you edit that? Can you, like, well, I made it with no malice in my heart. I thought that was like something I could say. I'm sorry.
Right.
I apologize.
Well, you don't have to, have malice to say offensive things.
Oh, tell that to my grandma. She's dead. Good luck. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, she's from a different time.
My great-grandma. My grandma.
You're from a different time.
Sure. I'm
From like
sorry.
the late 70s.
No, I want hair of, like a white person I met. I'll stop.
This is good.
Make me skinny.
Okay.
Make me skinny.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, this is good.
Good.
I want to use this.
I had a movie night last night. You want to hear what 2 movies I watched?
Can I guess?
Yeah. They're on VHS.
Oh, well, yeah.
I took 5 over there, and I let her pick 1. Do you want to know the 5 I took over?
Yeah,
okay.
give me the 5 that you took over.
I took over Hard Rain.
Okay.
I took over Identity.
Okay.
I took over The Vanishing.
Mm-hmm.
I took
Jeff
over.
Bridges?
Yeah, I took over Boogeyman. There's a new Boogeyman, which is pretty good. So we watched that last weekend. So I've never seen it. I don't know, but it says on the box, scariest movie ever. Oh yeah, I just gave that away, didn't I?
Did. So I'm down to 4.
Yeah, there's a 5th one too. What did I say?
Must not have been that one.
Nope.
So it's either
Hard Rain,
Identity, Hard Rain, and
Cape Fear,
and
Boogeyman,
Vanishing.
Vanishing.
So I'm gonna say.
I actually watched 2 of them.
I'm gonna say Vanishing and Identity.
No.
We
watched Cape Fear first.
The one that you didn't even remember.
I know. Gotcha. That's my poker face. Have you seen that? It's got Robert De Niro, but it's so weird because he has like this Louisiana accent.
Yeah. Cape Fear.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Great movie.
Like Nick Nolte's in it.
Robert De Niro's just covered in tattoos.
Yeah, Juliette Lewis is in it. But we've been watching, like I said, we're like up to season 4 or 5 American Horror Story, and Jessica Lange's been in all of them.
Okay.
So I saw where she was in. I think I watched it a long time ago, but it's just so off-putting to see Robert De Niro, like a clearly New York Italian guy, doing this Louisiana accent and stuff. Like that threw me off. I
think it almost kind of adds to the character though, because
he did a good job doing it. I mean, it's a creepy movie.
He was ripped in that movie.
Yeah, it's weird though, because like. He kisses Juliette Lewis, and it's like, obviously she wasn't at the time, but her character is a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good kiss, and I was like, man, that's so creepy. It's like,
he's not supposed to be a good person in that movie.
Yeah, but I think you can establish that without him. I don't know. But then we watched Identity after.
Okay.
And I forgot how that movie ended.
That movie's great.
Like, I felt like I've watched 75% of that movie 100 times. But I don't know how many times I've actually watched the last 25%. Like, where like something's fucked up about them all being at the hotel and they're all at the same birthday and just,
right.
The keys being left and stuff like that. But I could not have told you how it ended when I watched it last night. And then it ended and I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, I remember watching that in theaters and I did not see the end coming. It was really good, though.
John Cusack, Gary
Schreiber,
Busey's son.
No.
Jake Busey's in it.
Jake Busey, yeah.
Ray Liotta. It was a good movie. We watched Wednesday or Thursday. We watched Say Anything with John Cusack. Don't get the hype about that. I didn't get the hype.
It's not as. I mean, it's got that one.
It was just like
got that one iconic scene.
Yeah. But it's just it has Fraser's dad in it. But like watching, it, I was like, I thought it was gonna be like more kind of. That's probably why I never watched it. Like there's all these monumental movies of the '80s, Breakfast Club. I mean. Pretty in Pink, all this other stuff, and I always thought Say Anything was right there, but
no,
watching it was just a relationship about these two people. It was just feels so rushed.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up to the other.
But yeah, he holds the boombox up, and it has good music in it.
Yeah,
and he like kickboxes with his little nephew.
That's probably what made it kind of stand out. That was the music.
Yeah.
I talked to Jake Busey about Identity.
You talked to Jake Busey?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about when I hung out with him?
What? Are you fucking with me now?
No, I could have sworn I told you this.
I'm so happy that at this point in our relationship, there's still new things that you can tell me, and I can be like, what?
Wow, I can't believe I never told this. I could have sworn I talked about this on the podcast. So we went to...
That's Gary Busey's son!
It is. Me and a few other people went to a horror convention in Indiana. I think it was the first Days of the Dead convention, maybe the second, I don't know. But we went, stayed in a hotel there. The convention was in the hotel. And I didn't have it. This was back before I had Ambien, so I still just didn't sleep. So like that night,
pre-Ambien.
Yeah.
Josh
PA. So that night, there's me and 3 other people, and we're sharing the room, and they all fall asleep before me, and they're all just like snoring,
like cartoonish almost, like they're fucking
Huey,
Dewey, and Louie.
One right after the other. Like one would hit it, and then like as soon as they were done,
Harmony,
boom, and then boom, yeah.
You're sleeping some Both Thugs in Harmony.
So I laid there for probably 20, 25 minutes, and I was just like, well, I can't do this. So there was a really nice bar in the hotel, and I went down. This was probably around like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I was just sitting at the bar. Very first time I ever drank Fat Tire. I always remember that. And I'm sitting there, and then I hear some people like laughing and being like, well,
and you were like, no. You were pissed, weren't you?
No. But you can tell, like, there's commotion.
Yeah.
So I turn around, and I see this, like, tall dude standing at this table, kind of, like, shaking people's hands, like, smiling and stuff, And then he turns and walks over towards the bar near where I'm at, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's Jake Busey. And he sits down right next to me, and, like, you cannot mistake Jake Busey.
Oh, yeah.
His teeth are giant.
They got there a minute before he did.
Yeah. So, like, he sits down next to me, and he orders a beer, and we sat there and drank, like, 3-4 beers together. Didn't talk a whole lot, but I was just like, oh, hey, you're Jake Busey. And he's like, I am. And I was like, that's cool. And I was like, so what's up, man? And he's like, I just, can't sleep. And he's like, just thought I'd whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I was like, yeah, hey, I had just watched Identity not too long. And I was like, that movie was great, man, whatever. And he's like, oh, thanks. And we kind of talked for a little bit.
How'd they fit that baseball bat in your throat? That's how he died. He had that baseball bat shoved down his throat.
And he was like, all right, well, dude, hope you enjoy the convention. And then he went and sat with a group of people that I guess he knew or whatever. But yeah, so.
Jake Busey, cool guy. I got to confirm this story with Jake Busey.
You do that.
It sounds pretty cool.
Same convention was where I met Tom Sizemore.
Oh.
He was at a table. I suppose he was supposed to be there.
Did he cut your ear off?
No, but he was a dick.
Oh, I mean,
straight up asshole.
Yeah.
Could not have been less interested to be there. Was very, very aggravated that anybody was saying hi to him. Just stayed on his phone the whole time, and there was he had like an assistant, I guess.
Yeah.
That would come over and be like, you have to do. You're supposed to be doing you're getting paid. And he would look at that guy like he's like, I'm gonna fucking strangle you. And
he was
then,
a character.
I remember walking past him later at a different booth where he was doing autograph signings and the doors were open, and I was like, Tom Sizemore, more like Tom Size less, and kept right on walking. And it was just my own personal little victory.
You had it till the end there.
Yeah, it was sweet. I feel like I won though.
Yeah. Is he dead? Did you kill him?
Yeah, he died not too long ago.
Okay.
Well, a few years ago.
Good job.
And then found out that the dude that played the kid in Child's Play, Alex something Turner, maybe I forget his last name now. Real creeper. And then I also met him again at an IW East Coast show.
They brought him back for the movies too.
Yeah, but he was because I went with Brooke and Justin and our friend Becca, and Brooke and Justin were clearly together. I mean, clearly, and he did not give a shit and was like all up in Brooke's business.
Well, he is from Child's Play.
Yeah, and then I met him later at a IW East Coast show, and he's the shortest dude in the world. So whatever.
Fuck him.
Can't believe I never talked about Jake Busey.
No.
Huh.
Wow.
So I'm kind of a celebrity.
A little bit.
Friend.
Yeah.
Friend of the celebrities. I'll get him on the podcast.
I'm 2 degrees away from Jake Busey then. Right?
Met Andrew WK.
Yeah.
I know some people.
I remember that. I've seen that.
I need to start bringing on some guests.
That was on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selling men's hygiene products.
Something.
Wipe your balls clean.
Yep. Good job.
So I'll just stop dropping names now.
Yeah, cool. So those are movies I watched, and then you met someone from the movie. You really upped me.
Who have you met?
You really upped me. I don't know.
Yeah. You met, didn't you meet a basketball player once or something? Was that you? No? I thought you met like an NBA guy once at a ball or something. I thought you told me that story.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Whatever. This went off the rails quick.
Yeah. Jason Collier's grandparents lived across the street from me in Springfield, Ohio.
Who?
Jason Collier. He won the Ohio basketball for Catholic that year, Springfield Catholic.
Oh.
Got drafted by the Rockets, and he died in the offseason of like a heart deal.
Oh, great story.
Yeah, thank you.
Only one of my guys died.
His grandparents lived across the street from us in Springfield. Never saw him.
No.
I never saw him there. They were just like, hey, you know, basketball player in the paper? That's his grandparents.
Oh,
no, I never talked to him.
You would tell people that.
Yeah, I was there for like a year.
Yeah.
That's, yep.
All right, well, we're pretty big deals in the world of
huge.
Hollyweird.
Huge.
Also, our last episode was about a fella named Israel Keys, who we may or may not have. I think the majority of the consensus is this guy was like a sadistic serial killer. We asked some questions because really they only produced one body, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyways, I did mess up one thing about that.
Oh shit.
He was known as the nu metal killer.
The nu metal killer.
The genre.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I would...
Nu metal in you.
In you.
Yeah.
So, self-admittedly, I enjoy quite a bit of nu metal. I grew up during that time and like it. But, if... It would depend on what he was... I'm assuming they call him that because I don't know if he played it during...
Yeah.
But, depending on what he was playing at the time, I would be... If he played, Headstrong by Trapped, I would be real torn. I want to die because I don't want to hear this song.
Yeah.
I don't want to die to this song. So if that's true, that guy is a true sadistic bastard.
What's the top nu metal bands?
Korn.
Korn's nu metal?
Yeah.
So it was Limp Bizkit
Korn,
nu metal?
Limp Bizkit, Stained.
Wow, okay.
Those were your big ones back in the day. Disturbed.
Okay, yeah. Static X?
Yeah. They were the more
yeah.
They were the undergrounder. They were more underground.
Yeah.
You had to be cool to like them.
I was never cool. I went to the Family Values tour one year.
Yeah, that was a big nu metal thing.
Yeah.
I've had the CDs. I never went to one.
Sure.
So you got me there. You
Yeah.
got me on that one. Who'd you see?
Korn was there.
It was always Korn, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit wasn't there. Fuck them. I never seen Limp Bizkit. I don't know. There's other people.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Yeah, because then they have one of the Family Values tour. They had I think NWA was on.
Actually, I think it was Korn and Stained.
Stained, yeah.
Yeah,
Stained
I don't remember any rap groups being there when I was there.
Yeah, I think one of the years they had, maybe it was just Dre or something, but they
Yeah.
had,
I forgot about Dre. Thanks.
How do you forget about Dre?
Yeah, it's got a lot going on. Christmas is coming up.
Speaking of Christmas, it is Christmas time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. I like Christmas.
Are you really?
Yeah, I like Christmas music.
Yeah.
I like the whole feel of it.
I'm already we're only less than 3 weeks away, and I hear Christmas music, and I'm already? I was do you have to? I hate it. I hate it all.
I was listening to it earlier today when I was driving home.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Willingly?
Yeah.
Save it for
Jingle
Jake.
bells.
Save it for Jake Busey.
Oh well, I plan on sending him a Christmas card.
Remember me?
Yeah, I don't know. I've always it takes me back to being a kid. Just that feeling of.
What's your favorite Christmas memory as a kid?
My favorite Christmas memory as a kid. Oh wow, do you got one?
Yeah.
You
I get my Sega Genesis.
Getting your Sega?
Yeah, because I found it prior, because I was the kid that looked everywhere for Christmas gifts. I would like if there was presents under the tree, I would cut the wrapping paper open to look and then tape it back. Like, do it on a place where like no one's gonna notice. Oh yeah,
yeah.
And then most times it'd be wrong because I was like, yep, there's that I found. There's that I, So like that year,
yeah, that kind of ruined.
So I found it. It was underneath my brother's bed, and they're like, "That's for his girlfriend." I was like, "Why the fuck did she get a second chance? So she doesn't even." I raged. I cried. I was so upset. And then like Christmas morning came, and there it was under the tree. I opened it. I was like, "What?"
You didn't deserve that at all.
No,
you should have been on the naughty list.
That was my favorite. Getting
I think mine. So like definitely getting a Nintendo was a big deal. Like that was awesome.
Yeah.
But then mine would actually be like when I was younger. I forget what age it stopped, but when I was younger, for years, my mom would Christmas Eve night while I was sleeping would come in my room and she would have a little Christmas tree, and she would put it like near my bed somewhere, and then when I'd wake up, I'd have this little Christmas tree there, and that was always pretty cool. That's probably it. Yeah. Christmas is awesome though. I love Christmas.
She needs to do that this year.
I hate it more now, though, because like the weather always seems fucked up. Like it's always kind of warm on Christmas, and
you want the snow.
I want the snow. I want the cold. I want it to be Christmas.
Christmas, goddamn
I like
it.
Christmas movies. Love Christmas movies.
Nope.
So plan on watching a couple Christmas horror movies.
I got a few Christmas movies. Of course, me and Mike, my cousin, we wrap every year. Like wrap presents, not like talk over music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We always watch Die Hard. That's our Christmas tradition. We watch Die Hard. Most years we try to squeeze P2 into it as well. That was one of our...
we did a review of that.
Sure did.
I didn't really think of that. I mean, I guess it is.
Yeah, because it's Christmas Eve and like... So it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, but it's on like almost every list of like Christmas horror movies.
Yeah.
And I really didn't even think of it as a Christmas horror movie until I saw it. And I was like, oh yeah, it was kind of. So, but I guess it's the same argument people have against Die Hard being a Christmas movie. Like it's not about
like
Christmas.
Leave the Weapons a Christmas movie because it happens around Christmas.
Great Christmas movie.
Yeah. Getting too old for this shit.
It and Die Hard are both up there.
Yep.
Black Christmas is really good. Silent Night, Deadly Night's good.
Yeah.
But there's a couple new ones out now. There's one with the guy from Stranger Things that I want to watch, where he plays basically like a badass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's another one out now. It's on Shudder, I think, that I plan on watching tonight, but I got to find out what it is.
I'll give it that one with Goldberg.
Santa's Sleigh.
Yeah.
We did a review of that, too.
Yep.
Good Lord, was that bad.
I try to forget it every day.
It was rough. All right, well, you got anything else before we get in this story? You got anything coming up? Anything going on?
No. My worst Christmas memory.
Oh.
One year I only had like 2 presents, and it was like socks and underwear and like batteries or something. But they tricked me.
Oh.
And my family. My older brother Jason also went by Tad. That's his middle name. And so he had a bunch of presents marked Jason and a bunch marked Tad. And, like, after everyone opened up, what we thought was all the presents, there's still some underneath there, And I was done just watching them, and they all just started busting out laughing. Oh, the ones marked Tad are for you. I opened them,
so
but I wasn't
never trust
happy.
your family again after that.
I never trust anybody.
That was the day you lost all trust.
I didn't trust anybody after that.
Was that the same year you found out Santa Claus didn't exist? Because that would be a real
I was
double
youngest
whammy.
of 4, so I don't ever really remember thinking Santa Claus is real.
Oh, okay.
Like, Lily's 13, and she still was like, off on a shelf, it moves every morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, kid, wise up.
What's wrong with you?
I know, I don't. I mean, I love her, and I want her to have that as long as possible, but, like dude, you're 13.
It does get to a point if you're in, like, junior high, high school, and you're talking about Santa, it could lead to...
That's what I worry about. She's just gonna be like, hey, guys, you're up on the shelf, move.
I think kids need to quit being dicks. And if there's somebody in your school that thinks Santa's real...
There's kids listening right now.
Get over it. That kid is cool.
Yo, Cash is no capping right now. He's hype as yo.
That kid still has wonderment in their lives.
Yeah.
They still have hope.
So I never had
Don't
that.
ruin that.
Like I said, I was the youngest of 4, so it was always just like, we gotta find these presents that our parents bought for us.
One year I can't remember what it's probably a video game system if I had to guess, but there was one year where my mom had put that present like behind the tree where I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And it was like the one thing I wanted like so bad, and I opened everything and I didn't get it. And
Jake Busey doll.
Jake Busey doll, yeah. And I was like, but I was always. I don't know. I didn't throw a tantrum like
Yeah.
you did.
Well, I don't think I really do. I was just like, I was salty.
Yeah. I was just like, oh shit, like that's.
And like with the second, I didn't really like throw a tantrum. I was just like, what? Why is she getting a second? Like I wasn't really like, I'm holding my breath forever.
Oh, so you lied the first time.
Yeah, I pepped it up. This is entertainment, baby. We gotta, people are listening. Okay.
Gotta add some razzle dazzle.
Yeah. A little salt and pepper. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna call you out on every time.
Okay, do it. I mean, I was like, what the fuck did she get in the second for? Yeah.
What game did you get?
Just like the Sonic that
Was
came with
it.
it. Yeah. It was a good one.
I think I didn't get a Sega till later.
Yeah.
I went from Nintendo to Super Nintendo.
Like we got a Nintendo, but that was like for the family. That was like for all. By the time Sega, a couple years later, like both my brothers were older. They weren't really playing video games. My sister was out of it. It's like the Sega was for me.
Yeah, I was an only kid.
If anybody tried to fucking touch it, I'd let them. But I'd be like,
you wouldn't like it,
motherfucker.
You wouldn't like it.
You try to like pick up the controller, it's all warm.
Uh-huh.
You can't. You gotta let that controller cool off.
Yeah, because it just feels wrong.
Yeah. It's like sitting on a warm toilet seat. It's like fucking come on.
Or if like you. I would have, like, I know my friends did this and it annoyed me, so I can't imagine if you have brothers and stuff, but, like, if you've been playing a game and, like, it's, you know, you hit a level, you can't, whatever, and then you see, and, like, they're beating it, and you're just like, what are you trying to do?
I know we could do cheats.
What are you trying to do here? Yeah.
Cheater.
Now, I remember my cousins had a Game Genie,
Oh.
and I never had one, and I thought it was magic. But then, like, looking back, the Game Genie sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Most of it wouldn't work.
You had to like put in like 15 characters.
And
long codes.
So, like the little where you moved the thing around to pick was so loosey goosey.
Yeah.
And it would like just scroll through the letters, but like you could never stop whatever you wanted. It was a terrible thing. But at the time, I was like, you can just like get stuff in the game. Yes. I never had one, and I never really wanted one either. It was like a thing my cousins had.
I had one.
That I was like, that's a special treat for
I had
me
it for
when
the
I go over
Sega.
there.
And like I didn't even wear glasses, but I would just put glasses on every time, just to felt special. Just like breeze through the book.
Game guides were awesome.
Just before the internet, now you can just like internet, Google,
Instruction
cheats.
booklets were so good though.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Christmas.
It's been a good episode.
Christmas time.
See you next week.
Oh, Christmas time. All right, so let's get into the story this week. This week we're going to be talking about a man who ended up becoming known as the Dexter Killer.
Like the show.
Like the show.
Okay. I know all about this.
Do you?
I've read the books. I've seen all the shows.
Oh,
all the
you about
episodes.
Dexter.
I even watched a new Dexter.
I didn't.
He goes to Alaska.
Yeah, I heard.
It's not bad.
No?
It's good.
Didn't seem
Watch
like...
it.
What, is it on Showtime?
Probably.
Wherever the hell Showtime's a part of now?
Yeah.
I might check it out.
Do it.
Dexter was one of those shows that, like, after, like, the fourth season, I was just like, I guess I'll just fucking watch the
These
rest of
shows
this.
just go on so long.
Yeah.
Like, I know I can get it. They're wanting money.
Yeah.
But it's like just as, they should definitely end them, I think 3 seasons.
It was, whatever, it was this third season, the Trinity Killer?
Probably, I don't know.
Whatever season the Trinity Killer happened, that never should have been more, I don't think. So, anyways, so Mark Twitchell was born on July 4th, 1979.
Shishel, my Titchell.
In Edmonton, Canada. Which Canada, man, is like, people give Florida a bad name.
Yeah.
And, America's got a lot of, like, killers and stuff, but fucking hell, Canada.
It's so cold.
There's a good chance you're going to get murdered in Canada.
It's so cold.
I guess.
They're polite about that. They're like, oh, Governor. I don't know why they like that.
Hello, Governor.
I'm Canadian.
Hey. Hello, Governor. Hey.
Don't stab you. Sorry about that.
So his father, Norman, was a maintenance man, and his mother, Mary, was a graphic design artist. He also had a younger sister named Susan, and by all accounts, he had a very normal childhood. He loved being the center of attention, but unfortunately for Mark, he was a nerd way before being a nerd was cool.
Ooh.
He had big ears.
Hey, still ain't fucking cool to be a nerd. If you're out there and you're a goddamn nerd, I'm coming for you.
You liar.
Nah.
Lying liar.
I'm a dork. So my natural enemy is a nerd. They're smart.
You'd rather be a dork than a nerd?
It's just how I am. It's not rather, but like nerds are smart and they can do stuff, and dorks are like, oh, I like wrestling.
I guess we're on two opposing sides of this.
Like you're kind of a nerd dork hybrid.
I'm a nork.
Yeah.
Nerk.
So, like, I don't fight you because you're not full nerd.
Right.
Oh, you full nerds out there. Your days are numbered. And you can probably keep track of them on your little watch with the calculator on it. You're like, bop, bop, beep, boop, bop, bop, bop. I'm coming for you.
Your little pistol protector.
Yeah, nerds.
So he had big ears, glasses. He was a big comic book and Star Wars fan.
Oh, fuck, yeah. That's nerd shit.
So he was bullied a lot in his youth.
As he should know. I'm kidding.
So,
Bullied sucks.
like a lot of nerds with a desire for attention, though, he became interested in creating his own video content. He just wanted to please himself and gain the affection of others. Like, this would be his way to get
Please
friends.
himself? That's some video content right there.
Yeah.
That's some OnlyFans.
This was before OnlyFans was around.
Oh, he was the first OnlyFans.
He was just out there selling on the streets. So he got a camera. He would film little video sketches and stuff. Some of his early hits included Judge Fred, where he took the character of Judge Dredd and combined him with Fred Flintstone.
Okay.
And his Wheel of Fortune parody, Wheel of Torture.
Oh.
This dude was creative genius right here.
I like the Judge Fred.
Not bad.
That's
right?
borderline dork.
Yeah.
That he's dipping his toes into the
Yeah.
dork life there.
Okay. Yeah. Not a bad concept.
No.
Way better than Wheel of Torture. Like,
Yeah,
that's
Wheel of
day
Torture.
one.
That just turns you off just from the title.
Yeah. So after high school, he began attending the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology for radio and television production. After graduating, he met a woman online named Megan, and the two eventually got married and moved to the United States, where he was hoping to get a work visa while living in both Iowa and Illinois at different times. He spent a lot of his time on the internet.
Here's a fun fact. They're the same place.
Iowa and Illinois?
Yep.
Pretty much.
They are.
Yeah.
I've never been to either.
Depends on where you're at in Illinois, I guess, but a lot of it's the same, yeah. But yeah, he spent a lot of time on the internet, and he got a real kick out of making fake profiles on dating websites.
I watched a lot of Catfish.
Where he pretend to be a woman and try to like fuck with dudes.
Dude, that's so fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Some of these people are like, we've been talking for 3 years and they never want to FaceTime. It's
weird.
Like, how that? Like, it's just. I don't get it at all. It's
Yeah.
so crazy that people.
I
get it. Like, people are just, they're that thirsty and hungry for like any sort of just like, I guess, relationship or communications and just
affection.
Yeah, affection, exactly, or just
Yeah.
And they just want some like someone just to spend a little attention, put a little attention on them.
Yeah, there's some that like consider themselves basically to be married.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, they've known this person for 4 years, never actually talked to them.
Here's the 2 pictures I have of them.
It's like, back in the day, it was like, I have a girlfriend in Canada.
Yeah, she goes to another school.
She goes to another school.
You don't know her.
Yeah.
Trust me, she's real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
she's
hot. Real.
Real hot. Pretty much looks like a 30-year-old male, like a 25-year-old model.
Yeah.
But she's actually my age. She goes to another school.
Yeah.
You don't know her.
You know when I leave on the weekends, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
You don't know her.
So
this guy was doing that. He was catfishing people.
Yeah. He
Have you seen the movie? That's where the term came from.
When it came out, I saw it.
Yeah. Like the husband was talking about how like they were like selling catfish for.
And then MTV made like the series and
stuff.
Yeah. So Megan, his wife, she would later state that shortly after they got married, Mark asked her a bit of a strange question. He asked Megan if she had ever thought of killing someone, and then went on to tell her.
So that's kind of stuff you should find out before you get married.
That's not honeymoon material.
That's first date material.
Yeah. Well, actually, their first date, or actually, no, I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
And then he went on to tell her about how he had thought often about finding a homeless person.
Who hasn't?
And killing them.
Yeah, just to see what it feels
because
like.
Because they wouldn't connect it back to him. So she doesn't leave him at this point, which is,
I think it's on a smaller scale, obviously. Like you're a kid, you take a pack of gum because you want to see if you can get away with it.
Yeah.
But like you should grow out of that kind of shit.
But to think about like,
killing somebody.
Find a random person.
Yeah.
Murder them.
Get away with it.
I always want to feel the rush. I want to feel the rush. So,
are you? This is you talking, or are you talking for?
I want to feel the rush.
Oh shit! I have a house. God damn it! People will miss me.
Sure. So just turn around. So after about 4 years of marriage, Megan seemed to have had enough of Mark. She recalled that he was a compulsive liar who would lie about small things. Like she would ask him if he had paid a bill, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I paid that." Then they get a past due notice, or like they get the past due notice, and she'd ask him, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I paid that."
Yeah.
So then she'd call the company to be like, "We paid that," and they'd be like, "No, you didn't." And she'd be like, "Oh." So like, you don't have to lie about that kind.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a pretty easy thing to find out you're lying about. He also had cheated on her with multiple women.
Ooh.
So she filed for divorce. Mark moved his ass back to Edmonton. So less than a year later, he meets another woman online. This woman's name is Jess. They got married, which is kind of surprising because their first date, he forgot about it.
Oh,
She had to call him from the restaurant and
you
be
got a lot going on.
like, so where are you? Why aren't you here? And
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, we were gonna do something. So they still get married though, which is good for Mark. A few months later, he proposes. They get married, and they go and they have a honeymoon in Costa Rica.
Oh.
Shortly after, Jess gets pregnant. During this time, Mark's obsession with Star Wars had really, really grown. And he began working on a fan film called Secrets of the Rebellion.
Ooh.
He put $60,000 of his own money into this production, filmed it over 2 summers inside of his old college in front of a green screen. After completing the
I
project,
want to see it.
he wrote, I think it's probably, I don't know, it might be online. He wrote a script for a buddy comedy called Day Players, which would be about film extras. He needed funding for this new film venture, though. And, him and his wife just had a newborn baby, so need some money. The baby girl's name was Chloe. She was born end of January 2008. So Mark takes a job in sales work where he would sell IT services to corporate clients. However, he was fired not too long after this because he just didn't work. It was pretty obvious that he didn't work because his work email hadn't been touched for 3 months.
Oh.
So you got to do something, Mark.
Yeah.
You got to pretend.
Move the mouse around.
Do something.
Yeah.
Check that email, delete some things, move some stuff around, reply with a smiley face every once in a while. He began at this time.
Smiley face. That Mark hard at work again.
Oh, man, Mark. He began working at a new job after this, selling home security systems. But he started to believe, hey, maybe it would be better if I just started raising funds for my movie full time.
Yeah.
So he began making presentations to multiple potential investors. He raised a little bit of money from friends and relatives. He told Jess about his plans to quit his job so he could focus on this film full time. But she, was like, hey, we got a baby to take care of. Maybe this isn't the best time to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe wait till we're a little bit more financially secure. So Mark considered what Jess said, and then he figured out a way to make both of them happy. He went ahead and quit his job, and then he just didn't tell her.
Well, yeah.
Because if she doesn't know.
Sure.
What, blissful ignorance? He was sure that being able to spend all of his time fundraising would allow him to get his new movie fully funded in a matter of weeks. A few months later, no new investors had signed up for the project.
Oh.
So now...
and that's probably about the time where like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon had that show.
Project Greenlight?
Yeah. I said, really,
Yeah,
this is
2008 probably would've
all
been.
this is Ben Affleck's fault.
Uh-huh. I blame Matt Damon more. I don't think Ben Affleck cares enough about things for things to be his fault.
Have you seen Jersey Girl?
Uh-huh.
Is it good? I have it on VHS,
Not as
but I
bad
haven't
as everyone
watched
made
it.
it out to be.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
I'm debating watching it. I really can't stand much of Ben Affleck.
Really?
Yeah, there's some things I like him in, but for the most part,
He's Ben Affleck in this.
yeah. All right. He's not wearing a mask or anything, or like CGI to be like
No, he's just
Casey
Ben,
Affleck.
He's just Ben Affleck.
But it's Kevin Williams.
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith, I mean.
Yeah.
James Silent Bob in it?
No.
Ah.
No, this was like his first movie that wasn't kind of like
Part
in
of that universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked it.
All right. Definitely
So
won't watch it now. Go ahead.
Mark was now leaving home in the morning under the guise of going to work.
Bye. Definitely going to work. Don't call because I'll be so busy.
So busy at work.
So busy.
Checking those emails for sure.
Smiley faces going out everywhere.
So he'd pretend to go to work, and instead he would just drive around or like hang out at his parents while they were at work. He was living off the money that his friends and family had loaned him to make his movie. Jess, believing that Mark had a job, was pushing for them to buy a new house since the house that they rented was near train tracks and the noise was just getting to be too much. So Mark knew he wouldn't
Driving
qualify.
her loco.
Yeah,
Motive.
she's on the crazy train.
Oh, yeah.
So Mark knew he wouldn't qualify for a mortgage because he didn't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he couldn't tell Jess that, of course, because he's enjoying this whole no work thing. So he did the next best thing. He lied to the bank. He bought a cheap prepaid phone and put that number down on the mortgage application as his employer's number. When they called to verify his employment, Mark answered and claimed to be his own boss.
It's just so much work to not have to do work.
Right. Yeah.
That's
it seems like. Then he moved money from his production company into his checking account, altered the statement to make it look like it came from his job. So then he paid a down payment with money that should have been going to make his movie, or to pay bills and things.
Yeah.
And they bought a small little house in St. Albert, just northwest of Edmonton. In the basement of the house, Mark set up an office, put a mattress down there on the floor. Jess would sleep upstairs in the master bedroom. They kind of were just like living their own separate lives in this house. So Mark's obsession had moved from Star Wars to Dexter at this time. Dexter, of course, he's
the TV show.
He's, of course, he's a serial killer, but he only kills, other killers and bad
That getaway, yeah.
But he has like a dark passenger and stuff. So,
you ain't telling me nothing new, brother.
Yeah, so
I read the books before there was a show.
Look at
How
you.
about that?
Look at you reading
How
things.
about that?
People do that.
Yeah. Want to fight about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like now or?
No, later on.
So, in September of 2008, Mark decided to use the little funding he had left for his buddy comedy that he was going to make to instead make a short horror film called House of Cards. It would be about a hockey mask wearing serial killer who lured a cheating husband to a garage by posing as a woman online. Once in the garage...
Hockey mask? What? You guys so fucking unoriginal.
But this hockey mask was like going to be painted.
Oh.
Different collars.
He probably had like a glove with like long nails on it.
Spoons.
Yeah.
Not
Not
who you're thinking of.
No,
Not
spoons.
This guy has spoons.
And like not a chainsaw, but he probably had like a weed whacker too. Ooh.
Yeah. So completely different. Once in the garage,
Oh, fuck this guy.
the cheater would be hit with a stun baton and tied up. Eventually, he would be killed and dismembered. So Mark spent about.
But he deserved it.
So Mark
What
spent
do you
about
wear?
a
Because
month.
he was a cheater. Mark cheated like
Yeah.
all
Well,
in his
Dexter
first
was
life
also a
and-
serial killer.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
I mean, Mark spent about a month preparing for the film. He rented, because, I mean, that's about all you need for that. He rented a detached garage in a residential area. He built props and bought a stun baton, which they're not legal to purchase in Canada, so he bought one from someone online from the United States and had them ship it. He put casting calls online and found actors to play the serial killer and the victim. The actors would be working for free in this film, but Mark promised them roles in Day Players, which he told them would be starring Alec Baldwin.
Oh, nice. Think of all the exposure you're gonna get if you're.
There's
in
no
this
evidence
movie.
online to suggest that Alec Baldwin was tied to this project at all. The short horror film was shot in the garage over 2 days, near the end of September, with a rented digital camera and some low-budget effects. House of Cards was shot and ready for editing. The production of his horror film was not just to get a complete short film on his resume. Mark was also using it as a means of building his own Dexter-like kill room. He had friends built a large six-legged stainless steel table. He'd acquired the stun baton, handcuffs, and knives that he could use for his next plan. In his basement office, he got on a dating site and found pictures of an attractive blonde woman. He downloaded 3 pictures and then set up a new dating profile that he knew would lure in the star of his next project. During this time, Mark was spending a lot of time on internet dating sites, not just for his new project, but for himself as well. One day, Jess had come into the house through the basement door and saw what was displayed on his computer screen. Mark was on the phone and hadn't noticed that she came in. She suddenly yelled, "Get the fuck off the phone." Mark spun around to see his wife staring at him while he was sitting on his computer.
Busted!
With a website for dating service,
Fuck
a dating service
you,
that specializes in
Mark.
matching people who want to have affairs.
Yeah.
So I think that was
Ashley Madison
Yeah,
or something like that.
So, Mark was really good at lying, though. So he immediately just said, "Oh no, I'm
Researching.
I'm writing
Yeah.
article. I'm doing some freelance writing. So I'm writing this article for an online publication about internet dating." She didn't quite buy that, so he told her, "Hey, I have a conference call with the editor here in a couple days. You're more than free to listen in." So she asked him, "Well, what's his name?" And he immediately says, "Phil Porter." So
His name is basement door.
so Mark used the next 2 days to buy another prepaid phone, hire an actor to play Phil Porter, even had the guy record an outgoing message on the phone's voicemail saying, like, hey, this is Phil Porter from whatever.
Why would that guy put that on his resume later?
Probably.
I lied to this broad for her husband. You can call him. He's in jail.
Because just in case Jess would try to call him, he would
Yeah.
have this message. So she wasn't completely convinced of this, but she couldn't prove that he was lying. So things continued on. Mark, at this time, recognized that he lacked empathy, and instead of working to repair that trait, he embraced it. He made a conscious decision at this point to become a serial killer. He was the type of guy who needed to dramatize everything, though, so he began writing about his transformation in a journal. He titled it SK Confessions, and it begins, quote, "This is the story of my progression into becoming a serial killer. Like anyone just starting out in a new skill, I had a bit of trial and error in the beginning of my misadventures. Allow me to start from the beginning, and I think you'll see what I mean. I don't remember
this guy.
I don't remember the exact place and time it was that I decided to become a serial killer, but I remember the sensation that hit me when I committed to the decision. It was a rush of pure euphoria. I felt lighter, less stressed, if you will, at the freedom of the prospect. There was something about urgently exploring my dark side that greatly appealed to me. And I'm such a methodical planner and thinker, the very challenge itself was enticing to behold." Real cool guy.
Coolest guy.
Cool Mark.
Yeah.
Though he kept most of what he was doing a secret for obvious reasons, he did admit to Jess that he didn't think he could feel empathy like other people. It came as a shock to her, of course, that her husband and father of her child had confessed
And he
this.
said,
I don't understand why you're so upset.
Yeah.
After a long conversation, she suggested that he get therapy. Mark agreed and told her that he had set up an appointment with a psychiatrist. He said his first appointment was on October 3rd.
Sure.
And we will take a break.
Oh.
And we will be back shortly. And we are back. So we're going to shift our attention now from Mark to another guy who lives in Canada. This man's name is Giles Tetrault.
Okay.
So we're going to call him Giles.
Giles. I can say that.
So in 2002, he had met a woman named Pamela. They married soon after. They lived in Saskatchewan and owned a hair salon together. She was a hairstylist. Giles did the accounting and marketing. The business was pretty successful, so they just decided we can do the same thing with a different business a few years later into their marriage. They moved to British Columbia and started a stucco business. Not real sure why you think just because you're good at like hairstyling business, you can just do any business.
Yeah.
But whatever. Unfortunately, it didn't have the same success, and soon they were working multiple jobs.
All I had was hair dryers.
Around 2008, Pamela was visiting friends in Edmonton when she was offered a job. She took the offer, and after selling their house, Giles made the journey to join her. Once back together, Pamela chose to end the relationship. Giles said it took him by surprise, but eventually he managed to get past it and back into the dating pool. Not only had he been in a relationship for 6 years, but he was also pretty new to the Edmonton area. He wasn't sure where to meet women or where to take them if he succeeded in meeting them. So in the summer of 2008, he signed up for some online dating sites. After a few, hits and misses, well, mostly misses, he found one that seemed promising and put together a profile, hoping to attract a woman with similar interests. At the beginning of October, Giles came across a profile under an account titled Spiderwebs. That was the username. The profile belonged to an attractive, blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman named Sheena. Her profile stood out because she said she had also recently moved to Edmonton from British Columbia. When he noticed that her profile was active, meaning that she was currently logged into her account, he took the chance and sent her an instant message. Sheena responded right away, and the two seemed to hit it off. After a few minutes of chatting, Sheena asked Giles if he had any plans for the weekend. When he said that he didn't, she suggested that they get together. She suggested that on Friday, October 3rd, they go to dinner and a movie. She told him that she'd like to go to dinner first to help avoid all the junk food at the theater. She also picked Joey's Global Grill and Lounge for a meal before they went and saw Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Oh.
Good movie.
Haven't seen it for a long time, but
Good
Michael
soundtrack.
Cera.
Great soundtrack. Yeah, Michael Cera. Yeah. By this point, Giles was so excited to have actually found success on a dating site that he was down for whatever. She seemed like a confident woman who knew what she wanted, and he liked that. In his excitement over the date, Giles ignored a lot of red flags, though. Sheena sent instructions on where to pick her up, like not directions. She sent him directions, but wouldn't give him an address.
Yeah.
So she told him that she lived in a basement apartment and that he would have to go through a detached garage to get there. She said there was no parking allowed in the front of the house, and the only way to get to her apartment was through the backyard. The gate into the backyard was padlocked, so she would leave one of the garage doors partially open, and he could duck in there and make his way into the apartment. Instead of sending him the address, she just sent him directions on how to get to the garage in the alley. When he asked for her phone number in case he got lost, she refused, stating that she didn't give out her address or phone number for safety reasons. But, here's how to get to it.
Here's exactly, a little treasure map for you.
Giles was confused but not put off enough to cancel the date. And Mark was also very excited for this date. He had purchased duct tape, plastic, and disposable coveralls. He covered the ceiling with plastic and draped it down the walls. He covered the floor with a green tarp and readied his killing tools. He used a sheet to separate the two halves of the garage. This way, when his victim entered one side of the dark garage, he wouldn't immediately see Mark or the kill room. On Friday, Giles left work and hurried home where he changed his clothes and headed south to Sheena's apartment. The directions got him there with no problem, and he saw that the door on the right side of the garage was open part way. He ducked in the garage, expecting to cut through to the main door on the other side, where he could cross the backyard to Sheena's apartment. Instead, someone grabbed him from behind and began punching him in the back of the head. The attacker jammed a black stick into his chest, and a blue light started flashing as soon as he pushed a button. The stun baton sent 800,000 volts of electricity through his body, immediately weakening all of his muscles. As he finally turned to see who was attacking him, he was horrified to see someone in a black and gold painted hockey mask. So see, it's not who you thought it was. This mask is black and gold.
I think even if it was me getting shocked, I'd be like, really?
Come on, man.
Really? Like, I'd be so mad at myself that I let this fucking schmuck fucking get the upper hand on me. But I think that would give me the power I need to just be like,
Not today.
Like, the hockey mask wearing fucking idiot is not going to kill me.
Yeah, I'd be upset. Like, this is the best you could come up with. So,
jeez. Oh my god.
Yeah, so he had on this hockey mask with a black hood pulled up over his head. So now Giles is like, oh, I'm not just being attacked. I'm being, like, I've been set up.
Yeah.
So he fought to free himself from the attacker's grasp, but as soon as he broke free, the man was back on top of him again, hitting him with a stun baton. Giles finally did manage to get a little bit of distance between himself and the man, and this is when the man put down the stun baton and pulled out a gun. He ordered Giles to lie down on the ground with his arms behind his back, and Giles wasn't real sure if the gun was real or not, so he went ahead and did this. Giles told the man, like, you can have my wallet, you can have my truck, just let me live. I won't say anything. The man pulled a piece of duct tape off of a roll and put it over his victim's mouth. Mark had written down his exact plans in the journal for this. He described his process of setting up fake accounts by using software to block his IP address, then using pictures he had downloaded from profiles of women in different parts of the world. He wrote, I always change things up. I never use the same profile for more than one victim at a time. And I generate new email addresses as well, just in case. After a victim is removed from the world neatly and cleanly, I erase my accounts and every trace they left behind. Sure, the mother servers may or may not have an imprinted image, but even if they checked, they wouldn't trace me. As soon as the profiles go up, within 24 hours, the responses come in like a flood. I review the messages sent and choose my victims based on age, body type, profession, status, and living situation. Obviously, I'm not going to pursue a 6'4" athletic martial arts instructor
Obviously.
who's married with 4 kids.
Someone weaker, easier, you know?
I'm a little coward bitch.
Yeah.
So that's just got trouble written all over it. I mean, I'm ruthless, but I'm not an idiot. He's not an idiot, Joel.
No. He's a nerd. He's clearly smart.
I have my own fight training background, but I don't have delusions of grandeur. When I come across a single man in his late 30s to early 40s who is self-employed, lives alone, and stands between 5'7" and 5'11", with an average body type, weighing in between 150 and 180 pounds, I know I found my ideal target.
I'm glad that I'm not his ideal target then.
Yeah. The journal continues, and he calls Giles in the journal, he calls him Frank. Because remember, he's writing this as like his own little, like this is like his movie script, basically. So he wrote, my kill room was perfectly prepped. Plastic sheeting taped together around my table, a large green cloth screwed into the drywall, ceiling to shield a review of it from my guest's line of sight, and to shield me too, of course. I now stood but a few feet away from the front door, which I had locked. The plan was to wait in the shadow of my curtain until he approached the door and shock him with the stun baton, followed by a sleeper hold that would sap away his consciousness. so I could tape him up and set him on my table.
Shave his head.
And shave his head. And then do butt stuff with him. Giles knew that he was no longer in the middle of a mugging. His attacker was clearly going to kill him if he didn't comply. But he ripped the tape off of his eyes and mouth, jumped to his feet. When the masked man pulled the gun up towards him and ordered him to get back on the ground, Giles grabbed the weapon and instantly knew it was fake. Giles' fear evaporated, and he knew that it was time to fight. He tried to punch the man in the stomach, but there was no power behind his punch. He didn't know it. He really didn't think about it at the time, but like the stun gun, his muscles had nothing.
Zapped him. Zapped all his energy, huh?
Exactly.
Huh?
Zapped
it.
Isn't that an energy drink?
Probably.
Zapped.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Used to be, maybe. So, but Giles was eventually able to position himself just right to slip out of his jacket, since the attacker had a hold of it, and he fell to the floor right by the still partially open garage door. He slipped underneath and was on the gravel driveway. When he tried to get up, his legs didn't work. Just like with his punches, the muscles in his legs had been affected by the stun gun. As he tried to crawl down the driveway, the attacker grabbed one of his legs and tried to drag him back. He was able to free himself, though, and again forced himself to his feet and ran down the driveway where he saw a couple out walking their dog and yelled for help. The couple looked at him in shock, and they really weren't sure what was happening. They actually kind of thought that they were maybe being lured.
Maybe they thought there was a hockey game going on.
Yeah, maybe. But they thought maybe...
I don't get hockey at all.
They thought maybe this was a setup.
Yeah.
So Giles was like, hey, there's a guy after me. He's trying to kill me. Like, help, whatever. But then the man in the hockey mask comes out, too. He sees the couple, and he just pulls the mask up a little bit, and he goes, come on, Frank. And then he starts waving him back over.
Yeah.
The couple see this, and they think, like, we don't know what the fuck is happening. So they just walk off. They're out.
Yeah.
Giles is pleading with them to, like, help him get to his truck at least, but they are having none of this. But by this point, Mark had, like, ran back into the garage. So Giles is able to get into the truck and drive himself home.
Oh.
Now, the couple are unsure if anyone was really hurt. Like, they don't know what was happening. So they did, when they got home, they called the police. The police came out and took a look at the spot where they said they encountered the man. But the garage door was closed and nobody was around, so they just shrugged it off.
Yeah. I don't see any hockey masks.
There's no crime happening here. So we have a lot of these stories where the cops are just
they rode their horses and went home.
Fucking worthless.
Because they're Canada.
Yeah, these are Mounties.
Yeah.
So Mark would later write in his journal, quote, I don't know why I played it as cool as I did. Maybe it was something Frank said during the skirmish about swearing not to tell anyone if I let him go. Maybe it was my own instincts about reading people, and the fear in his eyes told me deep down he wouldn't report the incident, but I felt pretty okay. I cleaned prints off and tossed the rest in the dumpster. I still packed up any gear of my own and his stray jacket into a bag. Whatever I felt like keeping, I cleaned prints off of, and then I tossed everything else into a dumpster. As a final touch, I sent one last warning email to Frank through the dating site, telling him that I had traced his IP address through his messages, and that if he did report me, I would hunt him down where he lives when he least expects it and finish the job.
Oh, big man with his keyboard warrior.
I even threw in a line about having cased the garage, that this wasn't even my garage, and that I had never used the same location twice. My last lie was to tell him that he was lucky number 18 on my spree.
Oh.
Then I walked calmly out to my car, got in, and drove away across the entire city back to my home, where my wife and child waited for me. During the entire trip, I kept thinking, surely this douchebag would call the police. Not that it mattered if he did.
Douchebag.
I'd covered my tracks well. So
I kind of wish he would call the police.
Now, at this point, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So Giles did not contact the police. Not because he'd made the promise, but because he was embarrassed.
Yeah.
So he actually had made it about halfway home when he pulled over into the church parking lot.
Should have called Neve from Catfish.
Is that what the name was?
Yeah, Neve. That's the host.
No, I didn't. I don't think I ever actually watched it.
Okay.
But good to know. Good little fun fact there. So he's about halfway home. He pulls over in a church parking lot, takes a rest. He got some fresh air, drank a bottle of water, and he's laid down in his truck and passed out for 15 minutes. You've got to just be like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And was that guy wearing a Jason mask?
Yeah, why? It's Canada, too, so I guess hockey mask.
Oh, yeah.
But still.
It might have been like a real hockey mask.
That's just so, yeah.
Instead of like what we're thinking.
Fuck him still.
And why is that called a hockey? Like, it's really not a hockey mask, right? Like, did they used to wear masks like that?
Yeah, I think like the original, like, because they didn't used to wear masks at all. And that's why if you look at old fucking pictures of hockey players, they're all missing teeth and they're all fucked up.
They're badasses.
Yeah. But then I think that was like the first style was now they have it where it's like it's completely cases the head.
Except for, did you see that dude that got his throat slit open?
Yeah, and the minors.
Holy shit. Was it in the minors?
Yeah.
I thought it was an NHL game.
No, it was a minors. He was an NHL player, like in the minors. And, then now like even the other players, like they have neck coverings.
Good.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
So anyways, he, sleeps for about 15 minutes or whatever. Then he gets up, drives the rest of the way home. When he gets home, he realizes just how swollen his face is. So he put a bag of frozen vegetables on it, fell back asleep. About 10:30, he wakes up and thinks, maybe I should get online and try to get some information in case, I do go to the police. It doesn't really seem like he ever actually got that email, though, that Mark had sent him.
Oh. Forgot to press send.
Because he logs back into the dating site and everything had been deleted, along with the Spiderwebs account.
Yeah.
Though Giles thought about calling the police and was encouraged to by his ex-wife when he told her about the incident, he ultimately chose not to.
She was probably like, "You're so stupid."
Which, if you're embarrassed, I don't think I'm telling my ex-wife. I'd rather tell the police. I'm not giving her any more ammo.
No.
So, at first he is embarrassed about this because this is 2008. Like, online dating at the time was still, like, it's not as normal. Like, now, I think that's just the way people meet. But back then, it was still kind of like you were judged for it a bit. So he was also embarrassed because, like, clearly this had not been an actual meetup. Like, clearly there were signs
that
this should have never happened.
Yeah.
So he just was really excited though to go on a date with this pretty lady. He just wanted to forget the whole thing though and move on with his life. So that's what he did. The swelling and stuff would be a lot more noticeable though. He eventually had to tell people what happened. Everyone was pushing him to go to the police, but every single time the embarrassment would get too much for him, and he just wouldn't do it. So Mark had thought, about what if Giles does go to the police? He figures it's going to take them about an hour to respond to the report and track down who had rented the garage. So he prepared for the possibility. So he wrote in his journal, quote, "I practiced my entire behavior pattern should I come home to police cruisers parked along my front yard. I would rush to the door in a panic, and upon entering or being stopped by patrolmen, I would appear utterly surprised and beg them to know if anything had happened to my precious wife and daughter. My genuine shock at their presence would cast me an innocent light in their eyes. Then my cover story of being in a therapy appointment would become my short-term alibi." Which, pretty easy alibi to check out.
Yeah. What's your doctor's name? Well, that's confident.
Peter Porter, whatever that guy's, Phil Porter. Yeah. Mark told Jess that he was going to therapy on October 3rd, using it as an excuse not to be home while he attempted his first kill. Apparently, he believed that this alibi would work with the police. Again, though, they would immediately figure out this is not a thing. So he basically, I think, thought maybe that would be enough to give him some time to actually come up with another lie.
Did I say therapy? I mean,
okay, this is the best I got for now, but I'll have better.
Yeah.
You come back in a couple hours, I'm going to have a whole other thing for
Therapy was the name of the movie I watched.
Later that day, or the following Thursday, Mark went online and set up a new dating profile, creating a new persona as Jen, a 30-something brunette looking for a, quote, intimate encounter.
Oh, air horn.
And on October 10th, Johnny Altinger, born on April 28th, 1970 in Edmonton, Alberta, was sitting at his computer flirting with the woman he had just met online. He had a 4-day weekend away from his night shift job at the machine shop coming up, and he hoped to fill his free time with a date or two. In our next episode, we'll figure out what happened.
Oh, shit!
We'll get into the story of Johnny and Mark and Giles and the Dexter serial killer.
Wow. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. So, yeah, this dude, imagine being such a, he himself admittedly has no empathy.
Yeah.
But imagine, in your head, you're using your wife and daughter as, I'll act so worried about
I'll act like they mean something to me.
Yeah, I'll act like I give a shit about their
care.
lives.
Sure.
What a garbage human being. But yeah, so we get into some stuff on this one. There's a lot of footage of this, a lot of the footage of the interrogation. is online if anybody wants to check it out. Listen to part 2 first once we release it, and then go check out everything.
I won't watch anything.
Don't spoil the story for yourself.
Don't spoil it for me out there.
But man, does he? I
want to see this guy get his comeuppance.
He has some stories.
Okay.
He has some stories to tell.
All right.
And the detective is kind of funny to me because he treats Mark like a fucking imbecile. So it's pretty good.
Probably playing head games.
All right. So we'll have part 2 of this story coming up with everything else that goes on up there in Edmonton, Canada. But hey, we should have that before Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I think we still got, 2 weeks before
Sure.
Christmas? 3 weeks?
I can do next Saturday.
1, 2. Yeah, we got next week, and then we'll be off for Christmas, of course, because we got things going on.
Sure.
Santa's coming.
Santa.
But yeah, we'll be back next weekend with part 2 of this, and then we're going to take a little Christmas break, and then see you guys in the new year. Our Spotify Wrapped came out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys all for making 2023 a pretty awesome year for us. A lot of numbers went up. Thank you to Band Camp for the promo swap that we did with you guys. Definitely helped us out, and we'd love to work with you guys again.
Yeah.
Do something. So everybody,
shout out Travis for our new music this year. Travis Graham.
Shout
out everybody.
Danielle hooked us up with Bob's Burgers artwork.
Yeah.
Which is like my favorite thing ever of us is Bob's Burgers characters.
Yeah, I'm Teddy.
So cool.
I'm Teddy.
It's all I've ever wanted in life is to be a Bob's Burger character.
Sure.
So yeah, thank you guys, and come back next weekend for part 2 of the Dexter serial killer. Got anything to say before we get out of here?
Get wrecked!
Anything else to say for yourself after that?
Tater tots!
All right, perfect. Bye.